What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I have a special topic to talk about. I want to talk about retirement. So I've been retired for a year, and I want to talk about my experience, what I've learned so far when it comes to retirement. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime I put out a video. We do daily videos, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I've been retired for a year, and I remember turning in all my stuff on December 30th, and technically I was retiring on the 31st, but because the 31st was a day off, I was able to turn in my stuff on the 30th. And so it was really interesting, just the feeling, first off, of working somewhere, and I've been working there for 21 years, and I was luckily I was able to collect a pension. And so that's what really pushed my decision, because now I know if I'm getting a pension, I'll have that for the rest of my life. And I do need to do some other things as far as little side hustles and things like that. But I was pretty comfortable with the amount that I would be receiving from my job. And so that's the reason why I went ahead and moved forward with retirement. And it was interesting because at that time I was thinking, am I making the right decision? Am I making the right decision? And it wasn't so much the money. It was more, I have stuff to do. I have to go to work, and I have to do this, and I have to do that for work. And so it gave me a sense of purpose. Like I knew, okay, this is something that I need to do every day, or at least Monday through Friday. And so it was hard to give that up. It was really hard to give that up. But I realized there are other things that I want to do. And if I'm not working, it would allow me to do those things that I want to do. Like I want to do more photography. I want to travel more. So these things really took the forefront. And that's the reason why I said, you know what? It's time. It is time to leave. And so I want to talk about some of the things that I've learned in this year that I've been retired. So the first thing, when it came to money, I was really focused on money. And I think a lot of us are focused on money when we're thinking about retiring. Will we have enough money? And so that was the first thing that I really said, okay, I have to make sure I'm making the right decision, because if I make the wrong decision, I'm going to end up coming back to work. Or, I mean, we have where I work, and I worked in law enforcement, we have what they call extra help. You can come back in part-time if you want to. And they call it double dipping. So you're receiving your retirement, and then you come in, and then you can work just as an at-will employee. And so you see a lot of people doing that. Now, I never wanted to do that. When I left, I wanted to leave and not have to come back. But that's always an option, right? That's always something that you're thinking about in the back of your head. And the main reason is because of money. And so I was really concerned about the money when I retired. But one thing that I didn't think about, I wasn't thinking about when you retire, there's a lot less money that you're spending when it comes to work-related stuff. When it comes to gas, I don't have to fill up my tank every few days because I'm not driving to and from work 5 days a week. And so that was one thing. You're saving money. And we saw in 2022 how high gas prices got. And so that was one thing where I'm saving money because I'm not commuting as much as I was before. And so that's good. Another thing that I learned, food. The food that I bought when I was working, I would go out to eat all the time because you go out to lunch. Oh, sure, I could have packed a lunch and all that stuff, but the reality is once I got home from work, I'm so tired I didn't feel like doing that. And I know some people are really diligent and they'll do everything on Sunday. They'll do their meal prep on Sunday, and then they have it for the rest of the week. I wasn't like that. And by the time, if I did that, I would eat it for a couple of days. And then the rest of the week, I wanted to eat something different. I didn't want to eat the same food. And so when it came to food, I'm saving a lot of money now because I don't have to go and eat out lunch. I can make my own meals, and I actually enjoy making my own food now. Whereas before I was too tired to do it. Now I enjoy doing it because I have the time to do it. So I'm saving money on that end. I'm also saving money on dry cleaning. I'm saving money on buying different clothes that I might need, suits and things like that. I have a couple of suits now, but I don't need to buy more suits right now. I don't have a need for it because I don't have to go to work every day. I don't have to buy shoes and things like that. I mean, on occasion, yes, you're going to buy these things, but you're not buying it on the same scale that you were buying it when you were working. And so it's just different ways that now I'm not spending as much money. And so when you're thinking about retiring, You're just thinking about, okay, this is my lifestyle right now. This is how much money I'm spending right now. And if I retire, I'm going to be getting less. So I'm going to struggle, when that's not necessarily the case, because you have to factor in some of these other changes. The fact that you're not going to be commuting, the fact that you're probably not going to be eating out for lunch every day, Monday through Friday. And so those things you have to think about, and that adds up to a lot of money. So that was the first thing. When it came to money, this year, I've been comfortable. I've been fine. I have my little side hustles going on. And so I'm good. I'm comfortable, very comfortable. Now let's talk about the next thing, stress. I did not understand, did not realize how stressed out I was at work. I didn't realize it. And it wasn't just at work. It was actually just stressed out, period. Because even when I came home, I'm still stressed. I'm still thinking about different things when it comes to work. And I didn't realize it until I left my job. And now that I've been retired, and it took me a couple of months to kind of settle in and realize, okay, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. But when you realize that, you see the stress just come out of you. I mean, it was like I could remember, and I remember this really well. There's one thing that my body does when I'm under a lot of stress, and my eye twitches. My left eye will start twitching, and that would happen often when I was working. My eye hasn't twitched in a year, but it starts twitching because I'm getting, my body is stressed out. And working in the line of work that I was doing, you're dealing with negativity all day. You're dealing with different situations. Some could be emergency. And I mean, so when you're in those situations, you get stressed. And even on my days off, I was still stressed because I was pretty much on call 24/7. So if my phone rang, I needed to answer that phone and deal with whatever the problem was. Let's say one of my guys got arrested, I would have to deal with that. And so it was always in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about work. And if my phone rang, the first thing, I get those butterflies in your stomach. Okay, it's something I got to deal with, even though it's on my day off. And so that was always with me. And that's one thing that I've noticed now, like I'm stress free. Like I don't have the same problems that I was having when I was working, when it came to just my stress level, and when it came to thinking about work. And it would be a Sunday afternoon, and my stomach starts getting, you get the butterflies in your stomach, or you start just thinking about work. Okay, I got to do this, I have to do that. And in my last 7 years of work, I actually worked 10-hour days, and I had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So I had Monday off. But on Sunday, I would still feel anxious because the rest of the people would be working on Monday, but I would have the day off, but I would still have to answer questions. I would still get emails that I had to address and things like that. So I was off. I didn't have to go to work, but I would still have to deal with things, because if you're working with the courts, and if I had to write a report for the court and things like that, generally I would do it on the weekend. And then on Monday, that's when they would see the report. And if they had questions, they would be asking me questions. And this is time sensitive. This is stuff that needs to get resolved. And so I really couldn't relax on a Monday. On a Monday, generally, it was just like a work day for me, but I was able to work from home, basically. And so that's the stress level. It just changed. You retire and you don't have those same responsibilities. And that's a really good thing. And so that's like, now I'm looking back on, I'm just thinking, wow, I made the right decision for my mental health, for my physical health, because I'm not under the same stress that I was under when I was working. And so it just makes things so much better for me. And I just feel a lot better. And just, I feel sometimes I can just go on a walk and just not be thinking about work or anything like that. And it's strange. It's really weird, because I was always thinking about work, and I wasn't conscious of it until I actually left the job. And now I see, like, wow, I was thinking about work all the time. There wasn't a day that went by where I didn't think about something that had to do with work, or something that I had to do when I got to work. Or, I mean, it was crazy. And then we had our cell phones now had the emails and everything that would pop up. And so I had access to my work all the time. So anywhere I go, I have access to work. And just like I said, I'd get the phone calls from people telling me one of my guys got arrested, but I'd also get emails and things like that. I'm getting these notifications on my phone all the time. And I didn't want to miss a call, so I couldn't just put it on Do Not Disturb. So I always had it on, even on the weekends. So that's another thing that I learned as far as the stress level. My stress level now it's not existent. And one other thing when it came to stress, getting to work, driving in traffic. I live in Southern California, so there's traffic all the time, and Monday through Friday is the worst time. You're driving to work and you're trying to get there on time, and you never know when it comes to traffic. You never know how things are going to go. In certain situations, you might say, okay, well, I'm going to give myself 2 hours to get to work, and you barely get to work on time because there was an accident. And sometimes you say, okay, I'll give myself 2 hours, and you get there an hour early because there was no accident. And so it's really crazy when it comes to driving in Southern California, and I'm sure in other places as well. And that traffic is very stressful because you're trying to get to work on time, and you have people cutting you off and doing all this stuff. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm retired now. I can choose the time when I set my appointments. I can choose the time when I go to different places, and if I know I'm going to a place where there's going to be a lot of traffic, I'll wait until after that busy rush hour traffic. I'll drive either early in the morning, or I'll wait until the evening time to drive. So it's just, that's another stressor that we have, and we're forced to deal with that stressor because we have to go to work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or whatever your schedule is. You're dealing with that traffic. And so now I don't have to deal with that, which is really, really good. Now, let's talk about the next thing. The next thing is time. And this is very interesting because when you're working somewhere, you don't realize how much time you are devoting to work. And I talked a little bit about, I was pretty much on call 24/7. So I'm devoting a lot of time, more than probably the average person when it comes to time for work. And so when I was working, I was not only doing the 40 hours a week, I was also doing on-call 24/7. And basically what we would say is placing yourself on duty. You get a phone call in the middle of the night, you got to deal with it, place yourself on duty, and then flex those hours is kind of the way that they would say that we need to do it. But you're still pretty much working. You're still thinking about work. And so when I retired, one thing that I learned is all my time is mine now. It's not, I no longer have to deal with work. And so all the time that I have is for me and for my family. It's not for the job anymore. I don't have to be on call 24/7. I don't have to be at work 40 hours a week. And so that allows you to have a lot more time for yourself and a lot more time to do things. And that's one of the things that I'm struggling with right now. What do I do with all this free time? And one of the good things is I bought a house right before I retired. And so now I have a lot of work to do around the house, and that keeps me busy. Also, I want to travel. And in 2022, I spent 5 months away from home because I was traveling. And so I'm doing these different things because now I have all this time to do those things. And it's just, I mean, it's an eye opener. And now I can focus on things that I want to do and not focus on the things that I have to do. You have to go to work. I don't have to go to work anymore. So now I can focus on those things that I really want to do and things that I've wanted to do all my life. And so that's what I'm finding out now. I have that free time to do as I please. And it's just, I mean, it's an eye opener. I'm like a kid in a candy store where there's all these different things that I want to do. And at this point, I need to plan things out because I want to get a lot of this stuff done, but I can't just say, okay, I'm going to do this one day and do this the next day. I need to actually have a plan. And one of my things is to travel more and then really get serious about my photography, my landscape photography, which I've neglected for the last few years because I was just working so much and I didn't have the time to get out and do those things. So I just wanted to share kind of my experience. This is 1 year in. I'll do some updated videos in the future when it comes to just my experiences when it comes to retirement. But I think that I made the right decision. And if you're watching this video right now and you're thinking about retiring, if it makes sense financially, I would do it. I would move forward because your stress level will go down. You'll have free time. You'll have a lot more free time. You'll be able to do things that you want to do. And I think that's really important. You do need to have a plan, though. You do need to have a plan as far as some of the things that you want to focus on when you retire. So just like I said, travel, photography, have a plan because you don't want to just retire and not do anything because then you're going to end up just going back to work because you're not going to have anything to do. And so make sure you do have a plan. But if it makes sense financially, I think it's the best thing for you to actually move into that next chapter of your life and retire and try to do all the things that you wanted to do when you had to work. And so that's all I have for this video, but I want to know how you guys feel about this. So let me know in the comments. If you've already retired, let me know your experience being retired. And if you have not retired yet and you're thinking about retiring, let me know some of the roadblocks that you see ahead or that you think that you might have to address. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.